For those who know longtime Stetson law professor John F. Cooper, he is the definition of a global citizen determined to be the best at whatever he does. Throughout his long list of adventures and pursuits, he's made countless lifelong friends along the way. His journey began in Yokohama, Japan, where he was born on October 3, 1950. Cooper's father was a career Army officer stationed in Japan after World War II. As part of the Signal Corps, a U.S. Army branch responsible for military communications and the adoption of technology into the Army, he worked on primitive computers the size of a city block, supporting military operations in the Far East and creating predictive models to aid the U.S.'s strategy in the Korean conflict. The data his computers generated played an important role in the decisive Inchon invasion. The family, consisting of Cooper, his father, his mother, and his older sister Charlotte, went on to live in places like Orléans, France, Heidelberg, Germany, and Hawaii. A shy child, all that relocating wasn't always easy for Cooper. Often his sister was the only other child fluent in English. As a result, they were very close growing up. His parents were first-generation Americans. His mother's father was an immigrant from Sweden, and his father's father an immigrant from the Netherlands. As children of immigrants, the parents imparted hard work as a core value to their children. Proud and grateful to be in the U.S., they also taught their son that serving the country was an obligation of citizenship. Cooper went to high school at Culver Military Academy in Indiana on a scholarship before attending the College of William and Mary on an Army ROTC scholarship. He qualified as an Army paratrooper following his junior year of college. When he graduated from William and Mary, he was commissioned as an Army officer and served over 4 years before leaving and entering law school at the University of Oklahoma. His wife, Denise Ratzliff, came from a family of Russian Mennonites who immigrated to Oklahoma from Ukraine and became wheat farmers in western Oklahoma. She was his sister's college roommate, and the two hit it off, ultimately marrying and starting a family. Denise Cooper holds a Ph.D. in biochemistry and worked as a research scientist at James A. Haley Veterans Hospital in Tampa until her recent retirement. After graduating as a member of the Academic Order of the Coif, he entered private practice and also served as an assistant attorney general for Oklahoma. Around this time, he visited the Soviet Union with a group of American lawyers and law professors. The experience brought back memories of living abroad. Cooper and his colleagues had deep discussions with Soviet judges, lawyers, and law professors there, conversations that made Cooper ask himself what he wanted to do with the rest of his life. Teaching law became his goal. He interviewed with several law schools and ultimately accepted an offer to teach at Stetson. Cooper started in the fall of 1985. Courses he taught included federal constitutional law, federal income taxation, state constitutional law, estate planning, corporate tax, state and local taxation, and international taxation. He developed dear friendships with his colleagues. He was close with Dean Gary Voss, who launched Stetson's LLM, an international law program, and its first study abroad programs. The two traveled to China to teach contract and tort law at the Beijing College of Economics. If he hadn't been traveling with Voss, who was fluent in Mandarin, Cooper joked that he would have never left his hotel room. The day they landed in China coincided with the start of the Tiananmen Square protests. Students were on strike, but attended their law courses out of politeness to their guests. As clashes between protesters and the Chinese government intensified, ominous signs compelled Cooper and Voss to leave. It was just days before the tanks rolled into the square. While there, Cooper recalls being told by school administrators not to mention democracy and free speech in their lectures. These same administrators told him, however, that when students asked questions about these topics, it would be impolite not to answer. Stories like this kept his close friend and fellow Stetson tax law professor Richard Gershon entertained during their daily noontime run. Their route started as a 5K, then they worked up to a 10K, talking and joking the whole time. It wasn't long before Cooper was running marathons. Gershon said of his friend, "When John started something, he was going to work at it. Pretty intensely sometimes." Cooper had a close and professionally productive friendship with Stetson Law professor Thomas Marks. They both were interested in state constitutional law. Although their views differed, they co-taught courses on Florida constitutional law and co-authored a case book on the subject that for a time was assigned in every law school in Florida. They also published a national treatise on state constitutional law. While on Stetson Law's faculty, Cooper received numerous awards for his teaching, scholarship, and service, and served on every faculty committee but one. For the final 11 years of his time at Stetson, he was Associate Dean of International and Cooperative Programs. He administered the Stetson LLM program in international law and negotiated dual degree programs with law schools in Toulouse, France, and Granada, Spain. He also administered a semester abroad program in London that offered practical internships in the British legal community. He established and administered study abroad programs in Estonia, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Germany, Spain, Argentina, China, and the Cayman Islands. Cooper hoped that students would see studying abroad not as an opportunity for foreign travel, but as a potentially life-changing opportunity to gain new perspective on the law and life itself. Elaine Parizek, Associate Director of International and Graduate Programs, said Cooper was soft-spoken, funny, generous, and busy with traveling and passion projects. And, she said, one of the best people in the world. His friends lovingly referred to him as Biff. Cooper earned the title of Professor Emeritus upon retiring. He and his wife, who retired in March of 2022, bought a cabin in the North Carolina mountains, and they split their time between there and St. Petersburg. Of course, Cooper has kept busy in retirement. He studied gardening, qualified as a master gardener, raised compost worms, and grew shiitake mushrooms. Cooper's love for learning abroad endures. He is completing a manuscript on Vietnam POWs that he has researched and written over several years. He spent a year in Buenos Aires, Argentina, improving his Spanish language skills. While there, he traveled the country from the tropical Iguazu waterfalls in the north to Patagonia in the south, where he, his wife, and his daughter explored the dramatic glaciers near El Calafate. Through his enterprising spirit and deep love of legal scholarship, Stetson Law Professor Emeritus John F. Cooper inspired countless others to expand their horizons through study and travel. He is a beloved member of the Stetson Law community, whose legacy includes establishing lasting connections here and around the globe. He is now a member of the Stetson University College of Law Hall of Fame.